Hey guys, and welcome back to another guide to hardcore. Wait, actually, this isn't a guide at all. That's right, today we're going to talk about the upcoming Road to Ragnaros event. If you've been playing hardcore or following any of your favorite hardcore streamers lately, you've most likely heard all about this event. But for the few of you who haven't, allow me to explain. Road to Ragnaros is the next big event of the hardcore challenge. Plenty of players have already shown that it's possible to level from 1 to 60 solo without dying. But can a group of players level from 1 to 60 and then brave the depths of Molten Core to kill Ragnaros without dying? Now, it's a bold concept that presents players with another new challenge for the 17-year-old game we all love, but it also poses a problem. We need you. Yes, you. Simply put, we don't need just 40 players attempting this crazy challenge. We're going to need the whole hardcore community banding together into a full-blown war effort in an attempt to kill Rag. And that's where you come in. So let's break down the process and look at what you need to know and what we need in order to accomplish this major undertaking. Now, nothing is set in stone, but as of the making of this video, the whole event will start with the release of the upcoming Classic Fresh servers, and we'll be going Alliance for this event on a predetermined NA server. Sorry Horde mains. I know, I'm a little disappointed myself. Leveling from 1 to 60 will still follow the standard hardcore challenge rules, so go solo, duo, or even the recently allowed trio groups. After reaching 60, you'll join a new guild, and the rule set will change slightly for these players. You'll be allowed to group up in the open world, trade with your guildies, and run multiple instances of the same dungeon for gear. Keep in mind that you're still mortal though, so death still equals delete. We'll also primarily be trying to get everybody on NA servers, but if there's enough players on EU servers to make it work, then we could possibly have 2 groups attempting this challenge. So why do we need as many people as possible to participate, and how can you help? First and foremost, if we look at the roadmap, there's leveling, getting geared to run 60 dungeons, getting geared to raid, and then the actual raid itself. I've got these two separated because let's face it, as a hardcore character, as soon as you hit 60, trying to run strat and Skolo is a death sentence. So you'll need to get some better gear before you attempt most 60 dungeons. At every point in this process, people will fall, and there needs to be extra bodies to push forward. So the more people we have participating, the better our chances of pulling this off. High-level world drop recipes, BOE gear, and cooldown-based profession items like Mooncloth, Arcanite bars, and Cured Rugged Hide are another reason we need as many people as possible. Considering we're not allowed to use the auction house, the more people we have in the upper levels, the more likely we are to collect these much-needed items. I'll have a video out later going over all the useful world drop recipes worth holding onto. Lastly, we need people to act as dedicated crafters and bankers, which I'll go over in more detail in a few minutes. So, you hit 60. Congrats! Now the real challenge begins. Let's break down that roadmap a bit more and look at the responsibilities that await you. Now let's address something right off the bat and clear the air. While there's already been a lot of support and hype from the community for this event, I'm sure some of you are out there are probably thinking, it sounds like a cool event, but there's no way that I'm getting a raid spot. They've already got those positions filled by all the streamers, content creators, and their friends. To which I'd say, you're half right and half wrong. Sure, some of the initial raid spots have already been claimed, but there's no guarantee that these people will be able to commit or even get to 60. Most of them have other things that take precedence, like running their own guilds, TBC progression rating, or going ham in the newest arena season. And the hardcore challenge has shown us many times that even a smooth run all the way up into the late 50s can end in disaster. Plus, there's the added challenge of gearing up to even go into Molten Core. There's bound to be some deaths in just that struggle alone. So, if you've got the commitment to the cause, and the drive to stay motivated and alive through this grueling process, then there's sure to be open spots for the initial strike team. Even if you don't make it onto the initial strike team, as the name implies, we'll need to have plenty of raiders ready to go in case we lose some in the actual raid. Molten Core is still a dangerous place, even after this game has been thoroughly picked apart and cleared multiple times. Ask any guild who had Nax on farm, it's still possible for people to die or even raid wipe in MC. And considering we won't be going with everybody in the absolute pre-abyss with every consumable known to man, there are bound to be a few deaths along the way to Rag. So getting more people to 60 and geared will be just as big a priority. When you look at any army, is it composed of just soldiers on the front line? No. There are plenty of people in the background with various jobs, coordinating strategies, and making sure the soldiers carry out their missions safely and efficiently. A lot of players have an interest in just getting to 60 to help others gear up, and this is one of the many ways to help the troops. I myself will be taking on this role, as long as I make it to 60. But we need players to get to max level, max a profession, and then to help craft items and gear others while staying safe. Let's say somebody happens to find the Crusader enchant, and they give it to another player who has enchanting, and then that player goes off and dies trying to get it for the raid. That's a waste of the enchant, and that's why we need dedicated crafters. People who are willing to join into the event with no expectation of raiding. The whole banker thing is because, again, since we can't use the auction house, but we're allowed to trade within the 60 guild, we'll need dedicated people to hold on to certain items and basically act as a pseudo bank. I'll be making separate videos covering this in more detail later. So that's the quick and dirty on the upcoming Road to Ragnaros event. I can go into much more detail about a lot of the things I mentioned, and I will in future videos, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss them. As I said earlier, this isn't 480 players versus Molten Core. This is going to be a community effort and event to see if we can kill Ragnaros with mortal characters, and we need the help of everyone. So spread the word, share this video, and I'll see you soon.